Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into, well, the cyber frontier. It's relentless, isn't it?
It really is. Constantly evolving, always new threats popping up.
Yeah, this whole landscape of digital risks, it just keeps growing and getting more complex.
Mm.
Organizations everywhere are facing these increasingly sophisticated threats.
Mm.
Supply chain disruptions, massive data breaches.
Things that can cripple operations or just destroy trust.
Exactly. So cyber resilience isn't just a nice to have anymore. It feels absolutely critical.
It's definitely moved up the priority list. If you look at, say, the World Economic Forum reports, cyber attacks are consistently ranked as a top global risk.
Right.
And with everything being so connected, new tech coming online all the time, the threat environment just doesn't sit still.
So it's less about stopping every single attack, which
Yeah.
sounds impossible anyway.
Pretty much impossible, yeah. It's more about being agile, minimizing the damage when something does happen, protecting the core mission.
Okay, so for decades, the go-to proactive defense has been penetration testing, pen testing.
Mm-hmm. The classic approach.
That's traditionally been a very human thing, right? Highly skilled, sometimes really painstaking manual work, like a craft.
Almost an art form in some ways. Absolutely. It's very different from just running an automated vulnerability scanner.
How so? Scanners find weaknesses, don't they?
They do, but they mostly find the known stuff, outdated software, common misconfigurations, that kind of thing. They're fast but limited.
Okay.
Human pen testers, though, they bring experience, intuition. They understand how systems actually work, the workflows. They design specific tests.
And they find the tricky things, the subtle flaws.
Exactly. Those logical flaws that scanners just fly past. They're not just scanning, they're actively probing, exploiting. It's a trial and error process, but guided by expertise.
Trial and error, okay.
Yeah, official guides often point this out. Automated tools might flag a potential buffer overflow, maybe, but it takes a human to really figure out, okay, how can this specific flaw be chained with something else to actually compromise the system? They have to prove it's exploitable in the real world.
So it's iterative. They find something, interpret it, decide what to try next.
Precisely. It requires judgment, constant decision-making, and it takes time. Significant process time, as they say. The human element is key there.
Right, that deep understanding, the intuition, that's been the bedrock. But now, we're hearing so much about autonomous AI.
The landscape is shifting.
Is it just AI helping humans out, making them faster? Or is something more fundamental going on? Because what we're digging into today sounds, well, bigger than that.
It feels bigger, yeah.
Our mission here is to unpack how these autonomous AI agents, and we're looking specifically at one called SelfHack AI as an example, aren't just assisting. The idea is they might actually revolutionize, maybe even replace traditional pen testing.
That's the core idea.
And why this isn't just about productivity, but as you put it, maybe a philosophical leap in cybersecurity.
It absolutely feels like a fundamental shift. These agents like SelfHack AI, they're designed to go way beyond just assisting. They really could change the game entirely. Think about it. They can string together complex actions, automate whole workflows, chase high-level goals, often with very little human input.
Autonomously.
Yeah, autonomously. That capability is a hallmark of these more advanced AI agents people are talking about.
Wow. Okay, replace is a strong word. Paradigm shift.
Yeah.
What makes something like SelfHack AI actually different? How does it think in a way that's beyond a tool or even beyond what a human does?
That's a great question. It gets right to that philosophical leap idea.
Yeah.
SelfHack AI isn't just executing a script or checking a list. It's more like a thinking agent. Imagine a human pen tester, right? It takes them years to build the intuition to see how a small misconfiguration here connects to a subtle logic flaw way over there in a totally different system, and how that sequence suddenly leads to a full compromise. That takes creativity, deep understanding.
Okay.
SelfHack AI aims to reason its way through those kinds of multi-stage, often novel attack paths. It can find 0 days vulnerabilities nobody knew existed before. Seriously, 0 days.
Yeah. Without just relying on static rules or someone telling you what to look for, it adapts. It learns as it goes.
So it connects dots that maybe a human would miss.
Yeah.
Because there's just too much information, or they haven't seen that exact pattern before.
Exactly that. A human follows checklists, sure, but also intuition. But they get tired. They need sleep. They might miss a tiny detail. Their memory, while amazing, isn't perfect across thousands of systems.
Right. Limited bandwidth.
SelfHack AI runs 24/7. Never gets tired. never misses a detail it's learned, it remembers everything it's seen across countless different systems, and it evolves with every new target.
That's quite a difference.
It's faster, arguably smarter in this context, and definitely more consistent than any human team could realistically be. That's why we say it doesn't just scan, it thinks. It's a whole different approach.
A thinking attacker. Wow. You mentioned that process time earlier for humans. How long does a traditional pentest usually take? What are we talking about? Oh, it's substantial. Think about some of the big regulatory frameworks like CBACIST for financial institutions. A full project from getting started, gathering intel, doing the actual testing, wrapping up, that can easily take, say, 9 to 12 months on average.
9 to 12 months.
Yeah. And things like the DORA regulations in the EU also lay out these complex testing processes involving multiple teams, external intelligence. It's a huge investment in time and people.
Okay, 9 to 12 months. I mean, I've heard stories of pen testers basically living off pizza for a week straight, just trying to crack one thing.
Happens all the time. That kind of relentless focus.
How does an AI replicate that obsessive pursuit? Because humans are trained on some really nuanced stuff, right? Like understanding complex business logic, finding tricky flaws in smart contracts, crafting clever SQL injection attacks.
Absolutely. Things like the OWASP testing guide, it's full of techniques for finding those intricate flaws. SQL injection, for example, traditionally, a human needs to understand the application's logic, the context, then creatively build an attack string to trick the database.
Right, it's not just typing random characters.
Not at all. SelfHack AI isn't just following a recipe there. It's designed to understand and exploit these vulnerabilities by reasoning through the attack paths. It generates payloads dynamically, changes its strategy based on what it sees. It's doing that creative intellectual work, but at machine speed.
So it's not just checking a database of known problems. It's actively probing, learning, adapting, finding totally new weaknesses.
That's the idea, yes.
It's like having a digital hacker on your team with like infinite curiosity and perfect memory.
And infinite patience. Reports on AI safety even mention how AI can boost productivity in really cognitive tasks, like programming, by huge amounts.
Yeah.
Imagine applying that to the creative work of finding 0 days.
So it's not just finding more bugs. It might be finding different kinds of bugs, the ones humans struggle to find consistently.
Precisely. Faster and potentially uncovering vulnerabilities we haven't even thought about systematically looking for.
Okay, this leads to a pretty crucial point then. If the offense thread team becomes increasingly synthetic, powered by AI like this, what does that mean for the defenders, the blue team? How do they possibly keep up?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It means a massive shift for defenders.
Okay.
The blue team will increasingly need AI tools themselves just to keep pace. You're looking at AI versus AI, essentially, a constant digital arms race.
So humans don't become obsolete, but their job changes.
Exactly. Their roles evolve. Instead of doing every manual check or response, they become more like strategic architects, overseers.
Architects.
Yeah, managing these powerful AI defense systems, interpreting the high-level insights the AI provides, designing complex defense scenarios for the AI to run, focusing on the bigger picture of resilience.
So less time in the trenches, more time designing the defenses.
Kind of like conducting an AI orchestra, yeah. And critically, learning how to red team these AI systems themselves, understanding their limits, testing them, making sure they're secure and aligned.
It's a whole new skill set. Frameworks already talk about threat scenarios and attack methodologies.
Right, like DORA or Tiber EU.
Imagine those being developed and executed autonomously by an AI that's seen, well, everything. It's kind of mind-boggling.
It is, and this loops back to that AI alignment challenge. We need to ensure these powerful autonomous hacking agents, even the ones we use for defense, stay on track.
Right, stay within bounds.
Exactly, that they operate ethically and predictably. Managing these self-evolving digital hackers, that's a huge challenge going forward, ensuring they're powerful, but also controllable.
Okay, so wrapping this up, it feels like we've established that penetration testing is undergoing a massive shift, moving away from primarily human trial and error.
Towards being powered by these sophisticated autonomous AI agents.
Agents like SelfHack AI that can chain tasks, pursue goals with minimal oversight, automate whole workflows.
They're faster, smarter in this context, more consistent. They embody that idea. AI doesn't scan, it thinks.
The core message seems pretty stark then. Pentest as we know it is obsolete.
That's the provocative takeaway, yes.
Yeah.
It's not just an upgrade, it's a fundamental philosophical leap. The future red team is increasingly synthetic.
And you're saying that future isn't way off. It's basically here now.
The capabilities are emerging very rapidly. Yes, it's already starting.
Okay, so here's something for everyone listening to think about. If AI agents can autonomously run entire attacks, find really complex vulnerabilities, what does this truly mean for our defenders, our blue teams?
Hmm.
How do human cybersecurity pros need to adapt? Not just to fight AI attacks, but to work with, manage, maybe even red team these new synthetic agents themselves? And what new challenges pop up in making sure these powerful, self-learning digital hackers stay aligned and ethical?
Lots to consider there. A really important set of questions for the future of cybersecurity.
Definitely something to mull over. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thank you.